means you guys just tuned in to maybe the Daily Geek Out, maybe 3 Men and a Babyface. I don't know. Either way, you're at the right place. Because check it out, guys. The whole crew is actually here. Well, hold up. Oh. We had the KO. We had the KO Sonic Nerd. But besides Sonic Nerd, below me, my dog, my dude, Smooth. What's good, Smooth?
What's going on?
All right, Smooth. So you beat Zelda Breath of the Wild, right? That's over and done with. So I would say you're twiddling your thumbs, but you're just flailing your arms right now waiting for Mario Odyssey. Am I right? Is that what's going on right now?
Yes.
Show us your knockout move.
What, in arms?
Shut up. Nobody cares. And moving on to my fraternal brother from my other maternal mother, Neo Gotenks. Neo, what's really hood, man?
What's good?
And dude, it's your day today because everybody knows you are the Microsoft flag bearer. And we're going to talk Microsoft today. Microsoft E3, okay? Basically, it's the middle of the week right now. E3 is still going on. But the weekend's over. And this year, man, it seems like every year they're starting earlier and earlier. At this point, like Microsoft and some people started on Saturday. So let's just talk about the weekend, all right? I'm going to get started with my man Neo. I mean, on over the weekend, we saw Bethesda. We saw EA. We saw Microsoft. Where you want to start, man? Like, what jumped out at you when it came to... let's start with EA. You saw what EA did, man. What jumped out at you?
So, man, I mean, listen, I think that EA might have had the best E3 of any publisher. I think in terms of what they released, it was like banger, you know?
Now, hold up, because some of those bangers are not really anything excited about. I mean, like, yeah, FIFA's dope, but FIFA's every year. Madden is every year.
Yeah, but
right?
you know what?
Are you including those?
But Madden, what are they adding? They're adding a story mode, right? And it's a trip because when you think about it, right? Once a year we got a sports movie, The Blind Side, you know, all those like football movies, right? Those feel good movies. And what are they doing now?
Like the Bad News Bears, like somebody that shouldn't have won overcomes something and becomes a champion.
And now it's become the in thing in sports games, whether it be, you know, basketball, football, soccer. I mean,
are they doing that in basketball?
Yeah.
They're doing it in basketball. Yeah. I mean, I know that the motivation was the FIFA thing. Like, the FIFA story mode last year blew the hell up.
Yeah.
And so they brought it to Madden. I thought it was funny that the way that they said it was almost like admitting that we weren't trying for a while. Like, the way they mentioned Madden was like, hey, you know, we're finally going to do something. Like, we're gonna try something. We're going to shake it up this year, and we're going to include a story mode. You know, it's one of those things where, like, I can't give you too much props for giving us something that probably should have always been there. You know what I mean? Or now you're telling me that they've already been... This is like the fourth iteration because they did it on Madden and they did it in the NBA game.
Yeah,
so
but I mean,
it
looks good. It looks really good, though. It looks good. It looks like a movie. Like, it's kind of like it's got the whole conflict, the kid trying to get out of a bad neighborhood, trying to make something of himself, adversity.
So it's big like cutscenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I've seen story mode before. I guess I just didn't understand what this new story mode is. Because we've seen that before where you do a creative player and you pick, oh, your mother's an engineer and your dad was a professional bowler. And then it like creates some player and you live his collegiate career. And I thought it was something like that. So that's where we were going.
Yeah, Adam, I mean, you were the last person. Did you play like NBA, was it NBA Live?
No, it was NBA 2K, I think 15, one with Kobe. And then Kobe's training with you or something like that. And you're playing from the guy from Creed. But it was cool.
I mean, the thing is, like I said, the FIFA one really blew up last year. Like, and that's what's cool about this year. That's one of the other things EA, and I guess I'll bring that up, is they brought up FIFA, and obviously, as always, they talk numbers and how great FIFA is around the world and this and that. But they mentioned that this year, the story mode is actually a continuation of last year. Instead of them just giving it to you again, it's like a part 2. So I actually thought that was pretty cool.
That was dope.
Yeah. But Smooth, what'd you think about EA, man? Anything jump out at you?
EA, I thought it was pretty good. A Way Out was the game to me that stood out the most, because that game took basically one of my favorite games, Splinter Cell, Chaos Theory, basically. Okay. You have the co-op gameplay, but for the whole game. So that, to me, is the one that I'm looking most forward to.
No, I definitely like the co-op the whole game, but I'm intrigued with the whole working together thing.
Yeah.
You know, after Overwatch and Under Siege, Rainbow Six and stuff, like, I'm really big into...
A Way Out, in my opinion, gets most innovative game of E3 right off the bat.
Awesome.
Like from what I read and saw, like while you're playing, an actual cutscene is happening on the other side of the screen while you are playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard that somebody may actually walk into your cutscene.
Yeah, which is just crazy. I mean, I like that idea. I was mentioning it the other day that A Way Out is what I wanted Uncharted to be. Uncharted, Uncharted is an action game, but there are so many co-op opportunities for Uncharted.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You know what I
Now
mean?
here's what I'll say though: is like to me, Uncharted is like supposed to be like a Michael Bay movie video game. You know what I mean? Like it's supposed to be like a theatric. So to me, maybe some parts of it should have been this. This looks like the whole game is co-op centric.
I guess that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
but
not like little sections of the game. So I get it.
But
there should have been more of this in other games.
That makes
but
a good.
I like the idea of. I hope that it's like you need the other person. I hope it's not something you can complete without the other.
Yeah.
I hope it's that sort of thing where you're gonna have to leave a door open so that your partner somewhere in another cell can make it through, or you know what I mean? Like there's that co-op to it. Not just that you guys are doing two separate things.
No, you didn't see. You didn't see.
Need each other.
Did you see the scene where they're trying to like scale up, where they're back to back?
Back to back.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
That's where I feel like the Splinter Cell comparisons come in, because that whole game where like you needed each other, you needed to boost each other up, you needed to do this while one person did that. I mean, it was pretty much just like that. So
see, I didn't play Chaos Theory, but I saw it in like Resident Evil 0, but it was you, like you controlled two people. You know what I mean? It wasn't two different people. So I think we're all on board with. Yeah, that was actually that's what I'm most excited about. Well, the biggest surprise, because there are other games I knew about that I'm more excited about, but this came out of nowhere. But I want to go back to Neo before I get off of EA, because Neo said this was the best of all the publishers, so it wasn't just this.
Yeah. So keep in mind. So keep in mind, this is EA, right?
Yeah. So we said sports games. We said.
We
said
Anthem. We didn't even talk about Anthem. Now, there's a little caveat here, because you see what I'm wearing. You see what I'm wearing. I'm true. I'm true to Destiny, right? Anthem looks good.
Dang.
We saw no gameplay though.
Right.
We saw no game. I'm sorry. We did see gameplay, but no real gameplay.
And the reason you're bringing it up is if you watch Anthem, it looks like it's a Destiny type clone. It's added its own things to it, but obviously inspired by Destiny.
Yeah, we saw a lot of guided, solo play. Where it's kind of like you don't really have freedom. It's sort of guiding you on a path. But that was amazing. You got Battlefront 2, which seems to like they're putting everything in the kitchen sink in this one. Where now it's like you're going through, like, I guess it's present and past, where you go through like episodes 4, 5, and 6, and then it parallels back to 1, 2, and 3. I mean, in my opinion, they gave a lot of things that surprised people, a lot of and was low on the presentation that you were expecting. Which, when we get to the other developers produced, they gave a lot of stuff that we expected.
You know what? Before I get off Anthem, I do want to say I think Anthem was probably the single most impressive game. Like, period. Like, it's not the game I'm most excited about. I thought it was the prettiest. The concept behind it, everything I saw about that game, actually, I think is the most maybe impressive. The only thing I worry about, though, is that as much as I talk shit about Destiny's formula, it is not easy to accomplish. I am not sure that they're going to be able. The balance in Destiny is something to admire, even if you don't love the gameplay. And I'm not sure that this game, year one, or what we may end up calling this vanilla Anthem. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. I'm afraid this vanilla Anthem.
I got one tidbit, one nugget that I forgot to drop. So, who's making Anthem?
EA, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but
is BioWare?
Is it BioWare?
Yeah.
BioWare, the same people that released what was this broken game?
BioShock?
No, Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
Right. So the argument is Mass Effect was trash because all of their resources were on Anthem.
But instead what that did to me, that's probably true, but instead what it did to me was now doubt BioWare, though. You know what I'm saying? So now I doubt this next product because of Mass Effect. So I hope that's not what happened. And if it is, I hope they learned their lesson. Smooth, you want anything else? You want to add anything on EA before we let them go?
No, I think you guys covered it. Battlefront looks good. Anthem
you're a Star Wars guy. That makes sense. All right, man. But next up, it was Microsoft. Microsoft Saturday night, early as fuck. I thought there was something wrong in the schedule when I was seeing it during the week. But yes, it was Saturday night. We got Microsoft. And we got, obviously the big deal here was the Xbox One X. And I want to start with Smooth, because Smooth is the guy that never early adopts. He is the sound voice of reason, while me, Neo, and especially Sonic are going nuts about new shit. Smooth, bring us down to earth. What did you think about this Xbox One X?
Xbox One X, it's a luxury console. It's not something that is for the masses. It's 4K gaming, which is great. It's at the price point where it's almost double the price of the Xbox One S. This isn't for your everyday gamer. This is for the people who have a 4K TV. They want to show it off. They want something that's going to take advantage of it. I think it's a good console. I think the price point is right where it needs to be, but it's a luxury console. But I think it's good though. It is good. I was impressed with it. So
I'm with you 100% on that. And I thought you were going to go a little bit more towards your argument with the PS Pro, which you were a little bit more against the PS Pro than you are with this one. In both cases, I kind of felt that way, where this is the luxury. This is for the person that has the Xbox One Elite controller. You have an Elite controller. If you can afford a $150 controller, then you can ball out and get yourself this system because it's worth it. But like you said, you're playing the same games. Neo, what do you think about it, man? Because are you still the Xbox champion here? Are you still champion the banner? Like, who is our Xbox One representative right now?
Listen, man,
I'm fading.
I'm fading. So okay, I love everything about the console. But here's my issue. That price point is just brutal. The price point is brutal for heavy adoption. What that price point is right now is like, when you want to buy a new iPhone, you got the 16 gig, you got the 32 gig, and then you got the 128 gig. That's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's just, it's there. You may have a few friends that have it, but not everyone's going to have it. I feel like this is amazing. Like I saw Forza 7. It looked freaking crazy with the rain and the clouds and the thunderstorm or whatever. But what did Microsoft even show? They were like, this is the amazing console that you got to have, and we're going to show Forza. And that's it.
Right. No, I hear you. But I will say this, though, is that I've been consistent in the fact that if you've got the money for the extra power, you go for it. And I think that all three of us are actually saying that we don't have a problem with the console. We all like the console. Am I right? Everybody likes the console.
Yeah.
Smooth is just saying that it's not for everybody. And Neo's saying that it can't because no one could afford it. Am I right?
Yeah.
And going back to the PS4 Pro, I mean, that one was a marginal upgrade. I mean, that was the PS4 1.5. So that's why it was like, we don't need this. This really isn't giving us 4K gaming. But with the Xbox X, this is truly 4K. I mean, the jump in power is crazy. So this is the true 4K console, and this is the luxury product.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things to mention, too, that I don't know how much of a big deal it is, but they said that at launch, there's going to be 5 current games that are getting a free, 4K upgrade. And I know Gears of War 4 is one of them. I'm not sure what the other games are. You guys may know.
But speaking of which, that's one of the things that the fact that they came out and said these are 4 games that are going to be free in 4K made me wonder, are they going to charge certain games to get the 4K?
Well, yeah,
patch?
no, hold on.
Because they were like, well, these 4 get free.
Okay, hold on. They won't charge. This will be the same thing as the Pro, right? When the Pro released, everybody said, we may have a patch, we may have a PS4 Pro patch, or we may not. So this is the same thing.
But the fact that they said free and they emphasized free made me wonder.
No, you're totally right, man. I didn't really think about it that way. You're right. Why did they emphasize the fact that it was free? If you own the game, you would expect that if there's a 4K version, you own the 4K version of it. So, I'm actually with you on it. But, before we get off the Xbox One X, I'm going to rep for my boy Sonic. Because Sonic is one of the only PlayStation friends of ours that has been consistent. There's a lot of people that now the Xbox One X is not a big deal because, graphics, it's not just graphics, it's about games. But when they were a PlayStation fan, when the PlayStation had all the power, they were saying that's why PlayStation was important. Sonic is jumping off of PlayStation Pro and getting an Xbox One X because he is consistent, always going with the most powerful, the most Ps, the most frame rate, whatever the hell it is, he goes and gets it. And I actually respect Sonic for that, man. I really like that because all my PlayStation fanboy friends, all of a sudden, power's not important. The Xbox One X comes out and they're like, they don't have any good first-party games. Yeah. It's like, where were you 14 months ago? You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So props to my man Sonic, who immediately IM'd me and said, I'm getting this shit. And all right, so enough with the Xbox One X talk, all right? Microsoft also showed a crap load of games. I think at one point they literally said they were going to show us 42 games or something like that. Maybe 52. I don't remember what it was, but they said some number. And what jumped out at you guys? I mean, there was actually a few things in there that I really like. Well, actually, they had a lot of third party to start, right? So let me start there.
It was all third party.
Go ahead, Neo. Go ahead.
the most notable game that I think that they showed was I think it was called A Long Night. It was like a pixelated, like an 8-bit. It was like an 8-bit game, right. But it was like 3D. It was in the future. What it reminded me of is like Cowboy Bebop, the anime. Like it was futuristic but retro at the same time. And I thought it was like an amazing, like I'd never seen anything like that.
That's one of those games though that really benefited from the music. Like, was that the trailer music or does the game go with the music?
Yeah, no.
Because
I know exactly where you're going.
The trailer got me feeling it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about you, Smooth? You got one real quick to throw out there? What games jumped out at you?
The Ori sequel. I know Ori and the Blind Forest was very well received.
Did you play it? Did you actually play that?
I got it on Games with Gold, but never played it. But I heard it was really, really, really good.
I got it like free with one of those holiday bundles. But again, like you, I didn't actually play it. I still have it in the wrapper, but it's gonna get played. Especially now.
It's a very good platformer. It's a very good platformer. You know.
Oh, you took care of it? You beat it?
I mean, no. I didn't beat it. But I did play it.
6 minutes.
6 minutes. 6 minutes.
26 minutes.
Right. 26 minutes. Right. But it's interesting. It's interesting.
And Ori is first party, right?
Yeah. The problem is that it's interesting. You either like it because you like platformers and it clicks to you, or you don't. So, for me, it's renowned, but for me, it's just not a big sell.
I got you. I mean, all right. So let's keep talking about the first party stuff before we talk about the third party stuff, because they were actually the first ones to bring up a couple of them. But we saw State of Decay. That actually was a very pretty game to look at. Well, I thought actually what it felt like to me was maybe. Obviously, we didn't get the heart that you see in Last of Us. I don't want to say that. But I did feel like I was playing some sort of Drake Uncharted. Like it was that sort of cinematic feel, maybe with a more serious tone. That's the only reason I mentioned Last of Us. But I thought that was a really good game.
Well, that was the zombie one, right?
Yeah, but it didn't concentrate on the zombies, right? Like it kind of jumped around.
Yeah.
It showed there was a lot of survival, it looked like.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those games that, unfortunately, like this is my problem, right? So Microsoft, I think, came a little weak. They had a lot of indie games, which is awesome, but they didn't give me that knockout punch. None of the games gave me that knockout punch. And State of Decay looked interesting, but the first thing that I said to myself was, haven't I seen this game before? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, I wouldn't say that it's a meh game, but I can only say I'm intrigued. That's as far as I can take it. But I do feel like the reason that I bring up that it's cinematic is that when they were showing some of the fight scenes, that wasn't a combat mechanic. You know what I mean? It wasn't something like you pressed XXY. It looked like very cinematic. He was grabbing onto the person. The camera was rotating around them, which tells me that either it was QTEs or it's like Uncharted, Last of Us, where a lot of it is scripted and you just press one button to get it going. But Microsoft needs that. So that's why I bring up State of Decay. I feel like they need a Last of Us, Drake Uncharted sort of game, and this feels like it tries to meet somewhere in the middle. But they also brought up PlayerUnknown's Battleground, which is a PC game. I knew nothing about it. It sounded amazing at the conference because it was like 100 people get dropped on a battlefield, and you just go. Everyone customizes however the hell they want. It's just 100 people every single. And then I played it with my barber, and it's trash. I didn't like it. It was like you parachute in. Now listen, it's solid. Like everything about the mechanics was fine. You drop in, and you might drop in a group of enemies. Like everybody's just parachuting in, and you have no ammo, no weapons. You have to like start scavenging. So the first thing everybody does is start running into buildings and grabbing things. So it was fun. It's just it just isn't what I expected. So I can't speak too much on that. But
so it's like Hunger Games, the video game, basically. You just drop in the field and
so
and
you know, okay.
With Call of Duty and SOCOM feel to it, though. Okay. Yeah, and the fact that it's 100 people, by the way, the whole thing is like you might form little unions. You might be like, hey, stick with me. In the end, there's going to be only 2 of you left, and somebody's got to die. But you can sort of group up with other people. Whatever, man. It was just meh. But the other first-party games, I want to hear your reaction on Sea of Thieves, that pirate game, and Crackdown 3. I like Crackdown 3. Didn't like whatever Terry Crews was doing, but I like Crackdown 3. What'd you guys think?
I thought it was one of those games that was, I mean, it was underwhelming. I mean, it looked kind of cool, but after going through 40 other indie games, it was like
you're burnt out.
You're ending it with that. And it's like you should have started with that. If that's your big title, have that early on, not after 40.
Yeah, I was definitely burnt out by that point. Yeah,
I mean, some of the indie titles were cool. Obviously, we've got to see a little more of, what is it, the Cup game? The game that looks like a vintage Disney cartoon.
Yeah, Cuphead.
Cuphead still looks amazing.
It looks amazing, but when are we ever going to get it,
A year after Last of the Guardian.
Yes. Okay, hot takes. Sea of Thieves, I don't even want to hear about that game. Now, I feel nauseous.
Wow. Okay. Jeez, what happened?
Because I'm seasick on it, huh?
I am, yes. So I'm sick and tired of Microsoft saying, every demo for Sea of Thieves is, this game is so fun. Let me make cheeky jokes to make you laugh because this game is fun and I'm having fun while I'm playing it. Oh my goodness. And it's like, seriously.
Listen, man, the problem with Sea of Thieves is Skull and Bones was announced by Ubisoft like a couple days later. And we could talk about that the next show when we talk about Day 3. But, Skull and Bones is a legit pirate game, and then it just made this thing look like trash. So unless this is going to bring out the Overwatch and pirating, like that team feeling or whatever, and team strat, I'm passing on that one as well.
One last thing, too. Probably the best looking game that Microsoft showed aside from Forza was Metro.
Oh yeah,
Metro looked amazing. Like
besides Anthem, the other game that probably looked the best to me.
Like Metro was like, it was amazing. There was one part where he was underground and they showed the animation of him actually finding a clip, putting the clip in his gun, and I was like, you know what? It's the devil's in the details. I like that. But then
it shows you they thought this world through.
But then obviously once I found out that it was Metro, I'm like, it's like the balloon miss where the air comes out.
You know what I thought you were gonna say is the best game they showed was the first game they showed, Assassin's Creed Origins. And they totally they took all the wind out of Ubisoft's show the next day. I don't know what they paid Ubisoft.
It looked good though.
They showed it first. It was the first look at Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yeah.
And it's actually supposed to be like the beginning of the Creed. So I'm all in for that shit. So that was the best part of the day for me. But the last thing I want to talk about before we move on to Bethesda, because we spent a while on Microsoft, is they also announced OG backwards compatibility, man. Like, yeah, I get it. Meh, because how many people own those cartridges? But it just makes me think, like, that's the type of stuff you do for the fans. Because I don't think that moves systems, and resources had to be allocated to code for this thing. You know what I mean? Like, this is a firmware update. So this is like for the fans.
I still don't understand. I still don't understand why they don't release Xbox Live Arcade. All this work to get all of these retro games, all the games from Xbox Live Arcade should be available. If you were to tell me right now that I could play HD Remix on my Xbox One, I would do it. I would do it. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't understand. They go to try to...
No, I think the idea is going to be that you have to pop in the old disc to make a play. I think the idea is if they're available on live, you're going to pay for it. But if you already own it, then you can play it on this new system.
No, for sure.
And I'm not going to, what do you say, like look a gift horse in the mouth or whatever. I'm happy with what they did. Nobody asked for it.
They're giving me everything except what I want.
There'll be nothing left.
Yeah.
Somebody sounds like they're on the Sony troop, man. I don't know, Smooth. What's going on with my man Neo over here? But all right, so that was Microsoft. I thought Microsoft was fine. I was not one of the people that was hating on Microsoft. I thought Microsoft did an okay job. They did a lot of those Xbox Ad ID games or whatever they're called, the indie games.
It was like snoozing by the end of it.
Yeah, I guess that's what tired a lot of people out, and that's fair. I get that. I can definitely see that. But all in all, I might end up getting the new system. And there's enough games in there for me to be excited. So that was cool with me. All right, and then it ended up with Bethesda. Bethesda played Sunday night. And I actually, listen, I got a lot of respect for Bethesda. They've done a lot of good games. Obviously, Skyrim is a fucking powerhouse. A lot of their franchises are powerhouses. But I, in particular, don't play a lot of their games. So I saw the press conference, though, and I thought everything they did was fine. Just didn't move me too much. What do you guys think about the Bethesda conference?
I thought it was okay. The two standouts for me was Evil Within sequel and the Wolfenstein sequel as well. Evil Within, that was one of the games that kind of brought the survival horror back on the map right before Resident Evil 7. So I feel like Evil Within 2, I mean, definitely deserves
what system did that come out for? I totally missed Evil Within.
It was multiplayer. It was on PS4 and Xbox One.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't know. I think Bethesda shouldn't be allowed on the E3 stage anymore.
Oh, come on,
Yo,
man.
I am sick and tired of Skyrim. The Skyrim is the game that has been producing content for forever. You know what it is? It's like they're the WoW of the consoles. Skyrim has been out for forever, and it's awesome that it's on PC. It's awesome that there's all these cool mods. Give me something new. Give me something fresh. You know what I mean? Like, not the same thing.
Man, I'm gonna name all the games that they showed up. Well, not the games. Let me tell you about the franchises they brought to the table: Evil Within, Wolfenstein, Doom, Fallout, and Skyrim. Those are 5 big games, man. And yeah, I get.
Okay. So check this out. Hold on.
I don't happen to play them.
When you name drop those franchises, right? You got to keep in mind they showed Doom. It was Doom VR. You know, they showed Fallout. It was Fallout VR. It's like, come on, give me a break. You don't even deserve to even show that. You know what I mean? Like Sony spent maybe 5 minutes on VR games and then kept it moving. You know.
Damn right.
Evil Within. Listen, man. Here's the problem. When you have a game like Resident Evil 7 drop, and you're gonna give me a horror game after, you have to scare me shitless. And I literally watched like, oh, okay. Like it didn't give me that, especially when they simulated the whole you got a flashlight, you're walking in a room, and all of a sudden something scares. It didn't scare me like Resident Evil. It was almost weird because it was almost like there was too much shit on the screen. And it's like Resident Evil, there's nothing on the screen. So when something pops out, it really scares you.
That's funny, yeah. We talked about that when we talked about Resident Evil. Every horror game now has to address Resident Evil. It's the elephant in the room. You know, like they've set the bar somewhere else.
Exactly.
Whoa, okay. We got some calls. Someone's calling in. All right, so listen, this is what I'll say about Bethesda. Is they mentioned those powerhouses, but I was playing coy a little bit because most of those were either a VR remake or the Skyrim is actually on the Switch. Smooth, are you playing that? Is that on your radar? Skyrim for the Switch?
We'll see. I mean, I never played the first one. I heard the combat is still not that great. So even with the Master Sword and motion controls, it's like, eh.
Oh, that's right. Motion
but smooth, you can play portable.
If I want to play a good open world game on the Switch, I'll just play Zelda again. So.
But smooth, hold on. Nintendo told you on a plane you can pop up your Switch up and play Skyrim on the plane.
At this point, Skyrim is like Street Fighter 2. It's like Turbo Edition, Ultimate Edition. It's on every console.
That's true.
You know, so.
Well, I mean, it's like you said, if you really liked the first Evil Within, hey, we got a sequel for you. And a lot of people loved the Wolfenstein. I mean, Sonic being one of them. Sonic absolutely loved Wolfenstein. So I'm sure he's excited, and the DLC. So he's excited about a part 2. But I'm with Neo on this one. Bethesda just doesn't move me. I'm not with Neo because I respect him a little more than you do. That was disrespectful what you were saying about them. But anyway, all right, real quick, let's wrap this thing up. The weekend that was at E3. Why don't you guys tell me, like, well, what stole the show? Just the weekend. Who won the weekend? What? Maybe a game, or was it a developer, or was it a feature? Let's start with you, Neo. What won the weekend for you?
A Way Out. A Way Out is a game that I will probably. That's like a day one cop. That's a day one cop where I'm a buddy up with somebody and be like, "Yo, you need to buy this too, so that we can play it together."
Most definitely. All right. I think I'm with you on that one. How about you, Smooth? Who won the weekend for you?
A Way Out also, and I will be there with you day one. Let's do it.
Holy shit. Okay, guys. Well, I'm not going to say A Way Out because I don't have any friends. You guys are buddied up. I'm the third wheel left by myself. So I guess that the winner to me is, no, I'm not going to say Assassin's Creed Origin, you assholes. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say it's the Xbox One X. Listen, people care about power, so they addressed it. They have now the most powerful console. I think that's the only reason to develop it. And hey, somehow it's the smallest Xbox. Not the smallest Xbox One. It's the smallest Xbox. So it actually is going to look really neat in my new entertainment center. So there's a chance I'm getting it. So the Xbox One X, the console, won it. Maybe not MS by themselves, but all right. And thanks for guys. Look at this. The whole team was here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit like. And if you want to get more, then subscribe. Whether it's 3 Men and a Babyface or it's a Daily Geek Out, or god dang it, hit them both up. Subscribe to it. You know what it is. We're gonna get the hell out of here. Throw the deuces, guys. You know what it is. Peace.